we've got a lot of land to do here. Whether or not we stay here, or we could go over to the other end where I think it's just been cultivated. It's up to what people want. But I hope everyone's doing well. And let me know how the stream's running. It should be pretty smooth, I hope. But let me know. Oh. Nice signal here. What have we got? Actually, the ground's not bad at all. I guess it's a bit of rubbish, this, but the ground's actually fine. You know, it's nice and dry. Darug, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. There's a bit of rubbish there, I'm afraid. Yeah, the ground's nice and soft here. Well, not soft, but you know, because we've had no rain and it has been worked a bit, we're lucky enough to have ground that we should be able to dig through. That's a nice, whoa, it's almost taxidermied itself. This is interesting. No, you're soft. Oh, I'm soft. Okay. Gravis, good to see you. Look at this. Look at that. It's like, it's mummified. I've never seen anything quite like it. Look at its teeth. If we can get it around. Look at its teeth. That's incredible. It's like a self-taxidermied situation. Look. Wow. Yeah, well, why not Truge? I've never seen that before. I almost want to take it home and put it on the shelf, you know, and be like, yeah, I taxidermied it myself. Jordan, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Kane, good to see you. That's not very nice, Kane, is it? That's not very nice at all. That's interesting. Bit of a... I'll keep that. Oh, no, it's it. That, see what people think. Whoops. I was just about to say, as I found that. Wait a second. There you go. As I found that, I was just about to tell everyone that last week on my yearly walk with the family, I've got to see if the family's changed their ways and whether I start enjoying things or not. Anyway. Out with the family and go through it was on a public footpath. Nate, good to see you. RYG, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Everyone, don't forget it's September. You get 20% off. So for this month, as we're doing our texturization again, when we get back out onto the fields, you can now subscribe, so please do. This is going to be a bit of a philosophical stream. I'll be talking to you all about the things that have taken place. 30% off? Wow, it's even better. Anyway, what was I talking about? Something or other, I think. Oh, yeah. Anyway, on a public footpath the other day, open the gate, walk through the gate, and like a public footpath gate, you know. And you walk through it, and what do we find on the floor? Well, I find a little bit of pottery. Anyway, I always look on the ground whenever I go through places like that, because there's always, you know, where people have walked through it loads of times, it sort of wears away. And I think the farmers bring in stone and stuff like that. Whether that's the case or not, I don't know, but, or in this instance. Ooh. Huh. That's certainly an interesting one, isn't it? Got a zombie. Good to see you. We've got a fragment of bronze here. Again, that should be recorded. An FLO should record that. What it is part of, I've got no clue. It almost looked like part of a Roman brooch, didn't it? There for a second, like still does slightly. I don't think it is. I think it's too thick and clumpy for that. But whatever the case. That's a nice piece of bronze. Put that in my bag and we'll get that recorded, take some photos for the FLO. Gravis, that's a good question. This is Farmer John's land, but this is his ploughed land that we have, where we've had a couple of hammered coins and so on and so forth, and a little bit of Roman stuff as well. That could have been Roman as well, saying that. Yes, that new permission, we've still got the new permission. The problem is that of course with the weather we've been having, i.e. extraordinarily dry, it's been pretty impossible to go and actually do anything with it at all. I will be detecting it, but of course with the weather as it's been, that's it there. Yeah, that's whatever that is. Now, I've had a couple of these. I've got no idea what it is. Like a mortar shell or something, isn't it? I don't know. Could be part of a bomb. I'm never sure on these, but I've seen them before. Put it in my bag anyway. But I don't know what it is. Let the bin men deal with it, because it's nothing historical. But in the meantime, we've now been able to do this sort of land. This has all just recently been cut. Of course you have the first harvest, and then of course you have the straw harvest. And you've got all the bales of straw there, over there, and so on. The weather today is warm. It's not too hot, so hopefully the phone will survive fine, but we'll see. Could be part of a bomb if that's good, yeah, very true. Anyway, as I was saying, we were walking through the gate, and I come across a piece of sort of red glazed pot on the floor, and I'm like, hey, that looks like Samian ware. Pick it up. Sure enough, it is Samian ware. Post it on the, I'm like 95% sure. So I posted it on the Ancient Pottery Sherds Found UK group on Facebook. Straight away they're like, yeah, that's Samian ware, 2nd century. Looks like it used to be part of a cup. Okay, fair enough, that's great. So the FLO will be recording that. Once it's recorded, I can then do the Patreon post on it with some more information on Samian ware and some more information on the fragment that we found. Are there sheep about? No. Nope, nothing about on this land here at all. Except for lots of stones and stuff. Should we go on to the cultivated land, or should we stay here? It's up to everyone's thoughts. Cultivated land right at the end over there, going across by a footpath, or we have this land here we can continue to do. What do people want? parts would be safe. That's true. Probably is a whole bomb then. Let's hope it's that. Whoops. If you're wondering why I haven't been out detecting at all, or streaming all that much recently, it's been a massive combination of things, as you can probably imagine, which I can delve into more information. Jess, good to see you. Oh dear. Are there any hills around? There's lots of hills, but none that are in my jurisdiction. Plus, I'm not a big fan of hills. They require a lot of energy expelled in order to walk up them, as you can probably imagine. Oh, by where they were building that road or whatever. What road? What road is that, Travis? There's a motorway down there. There's a road over there. If you mean those roads, then yes. You've been awake since 4 PM, that's not good. The good stuff is on the hills. That can be true. Also isn't necessarily true. I have detected on hills, found nothing. The same as anywhere else. If it's there, you might find it. If it isn't there, you won't find it, you know. Yeah. Oh, there it is. A little rivet, probably part of a little thing that goes through leather. Does anyone have the pigeon emote? Of course they do. Oh, hi Bacon. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. The ground sounds crispy. Yeah, will be crispy. Have I ever been asked to detect for a specific missing object? Yes, I have. Twice. One on the beach, one whilst doing an antique fair. He saw my business card and he's like, oh, I dropped a ring. But the problem is that I said, I have to have permission to be able to do it. And getting permission, even from the council, even if it is just to find something, isn't good. I can't just turn up there and do it, even if it does take 5 minutes. That's me in prison for the rest of my life. Well, they usually do, Drew. They usually do. After all, my thing is huge. It's a terrible joke. Well, it's not a terrible joke. It's quite a funny joke. Oh, there we go. Oh, nice. A little pewter button. Pewter button. Circa 17 something or other. Some pigeons and doves make for life. That's cute. I've had a dream I was with some, I think were they crows? Or might have been crows. I think it was a sparrow and a baby sparrow, and I was feeding them stuff. And we were quite good friends, and I was like, well, I said I can't give you it all at once, but I'll give you a little bit at a time, and then you come back later on and I'll give you the rest. And they were like, well, yeah, that seems fair. And I said, fair enough then. As it is. I think they were looking for food, but obviously food isn't always easy to come by when there's not much of it about. Surface finds. There will be surface finds on here. We go to this part here, cultivated yesterday I believe. I called last night and said, is it okay if I come up to here today? He said, yeah, it should be fine. So he said Johnson's gone to bed because he was exhausted because he'd been cultivating this all day yesterday. And yeah, so let's have a quick look now. We'll see what we can find. This is horrible to walk over though. This is really horrible to try and detect, but we will give it a go. But a heavy cultivation is probably the best way of finding anything old or new or things that haven't been found yet. Phil, good to see you. A bit of both really. Depends how old it is, depends on a lot of situations. I always show the landowner everything. The landowner has the choice to keep it, in which case he'll generally pay half of the value of the find. If I want to keep it, it's generally pay them half the value. This might be not that deep. Oh, there it is there. Looks like an old tarpaulin ring, which is always annoying to find. You find a few of those. Let me know if the stream's running fine. Should be. I am hoping that when I get all the information for this new permission and so on, I'm hoping we do find a lot of Roman things. There's a good chance of finding a lot of Roman. Jimmy's running fine, thank you. Beautiful wind noise, yeah. I was hoping you'd enjoy it. It's actually not that bad. It's a nice breeze. It's a nice gentle breeze, but the microphones on iPhones, they should do something about that. Really, I'm sure there's something they can do to my face. You know, to lessen the effect of wind noise. I collect them, Phil. I mean, of course, I have everything properly recorded with the FLO, which means that then, I mean, you know, I do love my finds, so after recording it and getting all the information I can about it and so on, I'll then put it in my collection. And I mean, I could actually email some museums. I'm sure they'd find some things relatively interesting, but in general, most of it, you could send it to a museum and they'd be like, oh, thanks. And that would pretty much be it, you know. A hoarder? What? Oh, nice bacon. I hope you have great fun with it. If you've got a strong enough magnet, right? This is a serious question. If you've got like one of those extra strong neodymium magnets, right, and you were to then swallow a nail or a screw, whichever you prefer, right? Because you can do that. You can swallow them without it hurting too much, without causing any issues. And then you were to sit on the magnet. It doesn't need to be any insertional penetration or anything, but just sit on it. What would happen? Would the magnet be strong enough to sort of rip the screw out of you, or would it just sort of do nothing, you know? One of those questions you sort of want to ask, but you know, I'd be a bit too afraid to. Oh, you don't get many arrowheads. I've never found an arrowhead. I'd love to find an arrowhead. I've got a fair few flint tools that I found, but cook your insides, maybe rip open your innards. At least I found a new torture method for when I become leader of. I've said too much already, but no. This could be. I don't know whether to bother with this or not, whatever this is. It's a fairly, might be a big signal, I'm not sure yet. Oh. There you go, that's where the ground's starting to get really hard here. Like really hard. No Indians. Yeah, well that doesn't make any difference, you still get arrowheads. Going back to around sort of between 6,000 and 10,000 years ago, they used to make arrowheads a lot. You've got the slightly more recent arrowheads, which are barbed. Then you have I think they're the older arrowheads, which are unbarbed. We still do have a fair few arrowheads that have been found in the UK. What do I have to resolve, Marxus? Dancing, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Was that field recently ploughed? Yesterday. Yesterday it was cultivated, but of course a cultivator only goes down, whoops, treasure chest, certain distance. What am I resolving, Marxus? I think it's iron, in which case I'll leave it. This hole. Ah. Is that a stone or is it a proper thing? Why? Ah, dear. Why does this always have to happen to me? Nuisance. Calling horseshoe could be. Seems to be around this area. Right there, maybe that's a stone. Okay, it's just there on the side then. showed them by doing that. I think there's an episode where there was a modern, was it swords and stuff like that they found, but then they found that barbed wire underneath where the swords were found, or something like that. That's it there, I think. Or is that a stone? That's a stone again. Why do things have to be so irritating? There it is. When was barbed wire invented? Well, sometime in the 1800s, I think. You'd find out in the Encyclopedia of Barbed Wire, which is unfortunately always sold out whenever I look to try and buy it. That tells you the various types of barbed wire, the market values for certain types of barbed wire to barbed wire collectors and so on. Quite a good book. There it is. Well, yeah. Don't know. Some kind of iron, obviously. Not sure of what it is, no idea. I wish there was more information for looking to identify bits of old iron. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to identify old iron. As far as I know, there aren't any books available, or readily available at least, that's for iron identification, or commonly found iron artifacts would be a good one. It covered everything from sort of your Roman hobnails to everything else. Snap piece of a plough. It doesn't look perfect enough to be part of a plough. Looks very, very old and sort of hand forged. My bag's getting heavier and heavier. Could someone look up for the Encyclopedia of Barbed Wire? See if there's any copies available to buy on the Barbed Wire Museum website. We're always looking to buy that book, but always sold out for some reason. .97 is the signal we get here. Sounds a bit... There it is. Bomb shrapnel, World War II bomb shrapnel, anti-aircraft missile fragment. Nice bit of shade here for a minute. So I know what you're all thinking. Josh, why haven't you been out detecting or streaming for so long? That's what all you guys sound like, of course. It's a multi-layered answer. We had 2 heat waves, severe heat waves, which early on would have been okay still to detect if it weren't for the heat. Then of course you got, after the heat waves, you got the ground drying out tremendously. So the ground, even though the weather was okay, the ground was impossible to detect and would do nothing but damage it. And my spade, of course. I used paperback copy on Amazon for $41. Goodness, that's quite expensive. And that includes now as well, by the way. So even if I were to go out now detecting on pasture land, I wouldn't be able to. The spade wouldn't penetrate through the ground. It's just too hard still. We haven't had anywhere near enough rain for what we want. We've had a few days of rain, but it's nothing like the usual consistent rain that we do get in the UK to keep the ground nice and moist. Which you can see here, really. Absolutely bone dry. There's no moisture anywhere. Miss Croucher, good to see you. And my phone is a potato, yes, that's also right. Yeah, the rain over the weekend. It was supposed to rain today on my phone. It was like, oh, Friday, I've got an 80% chance of rain. It's not raining. It's also too hot. One of the other problems, the main reason, is due to depression. So I've had absolutely no motivation to do anything. And like even the thought of streaming just for an hour was taking like a huge toll on my mind, and I was like, I don't want to stream. Like I don't want to, you know. And it wasn't as if getting on and doing it felt better. I wasn't enjoying it at all. Still pretty much the same, to be honest with you. But I was like, I've got no excuses today. I haven't been out detecting for a while. I would like to get out detecting. If I'm out detecting, I'm going to stream. The problem is though, I also feel bad because I'm like, I haven't been out detecting. People are still subscribed, and also the fact that if I don't stream, there won't be anyone there to watch me before long because they'll have all died of old age. So I guess I still have to. Oh, what's this? Nice. Chihuahua, good to see you. Hi, Chihuahua. Hammered coin here would make me feel a lot better. Or a Roman coin, whichever is fine. Something medieval? No. Part of a post-medieval horse brass. Looks like a okay. I always thought Barb Dwyer, as in D-W-I-E-R, is quite a popular surname. It was the funniest way of describing that. Barb Dwyer. Barbara Dwyer. Barb Dwyer. See, it's funny.